Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is paracord, obviously. And you can make these bracelets with clips as well. I prefer not to. The one I'm wearing, if you can see here, is just kind of old-fashioned. I'd rather make the knots myself. I just use a simple survival knot to tie off the ends. I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video. So you need the paracord. I use about 9 feet for myself because I'm a skinny feller, but I'd use 9 to 11 feet. That's up to you. For your first one, I would just use more extra, and if you have to cut off the end, so what? Paracord's not very expensive. So find your middle, put your two ends together, pull until you find your end loop here, and then I take a pencil. You can use anything similar. Something small is better for what I'm going to teach you how to do today. So you pull it over, make a loop, and you have your two strands in the middle here. You're going to take them, just pinch them both, and pull them both all the way through. Alright, so that's what you got there. Then you're going to want to take another pencil. If you wrap this around your wrist till you find the other end here, pinch where they meet because that's the distance you're going to want for your bracelet. Take another pencil, and I put the two strands behind. It doesn't matter which way this is, that's not a problem. And I separate the strands to make it easier for me to see. So, see that? Two strands behind, one going each way. Now, your first knot is going to be the same thing you do for the whole bracelet, but it is the hardest. You're going to take either side, right or left. You're going to cross one over like so. Then you're going to take the second strand and you're going to come over the top of this strand right here. So it's over. Then you take the same strand that you just brought over. You're going to come underneath everything and come up through this loop right here behind your first strand. So it'll look like a simple knot like this once you're done. And then you're going to pull them without losing your spot up here. Be very careful of that. That is by far the hardest part. I know my distance, so if I kind of mess it up a little bit, I'll just play with it. Make sure your first knot is tight, because that's going to kind of set the pace for the rest of the bracelet. Now, once you got a decently tight knot, your second knot is what's going to set this into place for you. So if you started with the right strand, doesn't matter which one you started with, but if you started with your right, the next one you need to do is the left. And you're going to go back and forth, right, left, the entire bracelet. You come over the front, take your second strand, come over the front of that, come up underneath everything, and then pull tight. Second strand will be easier than the first, but still will be a little tough. Now that you got that, you're going to continue to do the same thing over and over again. I did the left last time, so I'm going to do the right. Come over the top, up underneath everything, through that loop, and then I'm going to pull tight. There we go. The tighter you pull all of these, the better your bracelet will come out. May seem a little tight at first, but they'll loosen up with time. So make your loop, come over the front. I'm just going to do a little bit here just to kind of show you guys what the product will start to look like. Your first few knots, you're going to think it looks sloppy. Don't worry about that, because shortly it will come together. So, come over the front, pull through that one, up underneath, through the loop, and pull. If you ever get lost on which, did I just do left or did I do right, you're going to go where your last loop comes over there. So yeah, they alternate back and forth. Where your last one is the side you need to start with. So come over the front, underneath, up through, and pull tight. Now, I'm going to shut the camera off, I'm going to finish it to the end, and I'm going to show you guys how to tie this thing off. Alright, so we're at the end of the video here. We're at the end of the bracelet. Got the whole thing. That is still attached to the top. So I just took that last pencil out. I'm going to try to show you guys a more close-up way of how to do these knots. So, this loop right here is the last one coming over, so that means I need to start with that side. Come across, come in front, and then you come back up underneath, pull through that loop, and you pull tight. And now all we have is this little loop. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your strands, the ends of them, and you're going to put them through. Doesn't matter which way. I do them from the top because I feel it's more comfortable on your wrist after, but really doesn't make much of a difference. So you pull that through. Second one's not as easy. Alright, so you got them both through here. Sweet. So now you can take this out. So you got two little loops at the top. And then at the bottom, you got two strands hanging through. So what I'm going to do is to close this off, I'm going to make a figure 8 knot, which you come up, exactly how it sounds, you make a figure 8, and then you come up through your loop, and you pull tight. And that's a really basic survival knot. Comes in handy for closing off anything really. Then we'll make another one here. I'll show you the loop again. Figure 8 loop, make your figure 8, up and over, and then back up through the first loop. I got my Mora survival knife. I want this very close to the knot, so I'm just going to take it. Sweet, cut. Other one. I don't recommend doing that with your fingers because it kind of burns, but used to it. That's your knot, your two knots at the end. Now, that's pretty much it. All you gotta do now is take the ends, stick them through, You got yourself a survival bracelet. Like I said, they'll be a little stiff at first, but once you work them out, they're golden. So there you go. Final result. Something like that.